Actually here to, I mean, it's amazing weather. The weather is so nice. And right now, anytime I'm moving, I'm moving around, I'm going to my workplace. I used to see this place and I actually like to see the nature. And I like to see, the nature. And seeing the nature always remind me of, where we come from. We come from God, and everything that we see is actually telling us a lot of message, telling us, what we can actually achieve in life. So that's why today I decided, what, I'm going to come around this area and I'm going to speak, I'm going to speak life, because we all know that this life is something that, God has brought us here for a purpose, and anything that we ever wanted, He has already given, putting it in our hands, and for that reason, we should see ourselves as a people with great potential, people who can do great things in their life, and that's why today I come here to actually remind us that no matter how, the circumstances that you are in, no matter how the what we call it, the challenges that you are facing, you have to know that there's a better way, you know. But for you to know that there's a better way, first of all, you have to do what? For you to know that there's a better way, for you to know that there's a better way, first of all, you have to do what? You have to forgive yourself. Sorry, guys. For you to know that there's a better way, first of all, you have to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgiving yourself means a lot. Forgiving yourself means that anything that you've done in the past, and maybe for some reason things didn't work out, you don't have to hold on to those things, in the past. That's why I say that first of all, you have to forgive yourself. Forgiving yourself is a new beginning. Once you forgive yourself, you are having a new beginning. A new beginning means that a lot of opportunity, because the problem is so many people don't do whatever they want to do. They want to do great, they will never do it because they are holding back in the past. Anything that has happened to them, the past experiences, all these kind of things is doing what? It's accumulating and it's making us stuck where we are. So guys, so that's the first thing. We have to forgive ourselves. Forgive any person, but forgiveness doesn't mean that you should allow somebody to destroy your life. I don't mean that. Once you know that somebody is against you, you have to respect, but don't allow that person to come back and mess up your life. But forgiving yourself means that you let go anything that is causing you stuck where you want to be, anything that is making you stuck. Don't allow that in. So the first thing is you have to do what? Forgive yourself. Thank you. Somebody say I have a nice haircut. I don't have any more hair right now. Thank you anyway. So you have to forgive yourself. And second thing I want to talk about is you have to be grateful, because this is just an initiative for you to understand that anywhere you want to go, first of all, you have to forgive yourself and you have to be grateful for just having the life. Just imagine how many people do we know today that cannot even eat? How many people that do we know today that they cannot experience this freedom? Just to come this area right now, today the sun is very amazing in this nature, and just enjoy yourself. These are the things that freedom can do. Even though you have all the money in the world and you don't have this freedom, the person who has millions or billions and he is in the jail or is in the prison, you know, you can never, when the person tell you, I'm going to give you all my billions and you going to be in jail, and why I am going to enjoy this sun, I'm going to be around like this, you will ever say no? So that's one great thing that you have to understand, that freedom is something like this that you can enjoy. You can see the sun, you can talk, you can see people, you can do whatever that you want. That is freedom. And that is something that you will never get, regardless of, you know, whatever, you know, status that you have. People cannot exchange your freedom for money. So those are the kind of things that are very, very important, you know. So guys, so I spoke about two things: being grateful and also forgiving yourself for where you are. Anyone who has actually caused you damage in your life, just let it go and then start a new beginning. That is how you'll be able to retain your potential. That's how you'll be able to retain your energy, your power. So that leads me to, guys, what we call it. The problem is nowadays, after you forgive yourself, you want to be somewhere. 2025 has gone. People are still moving forward. People are still working hard towards where they want to go. You've seen some people made it. You've seen some people lose it. But the problem is, where are you going? Where are you going? That's the question. Where am I going? That's the question I ask myself every single day. For the past 10 years being in business, and now I realize that, you know, there are so many things I've left behind. I've been cheating myself. I've been lying to myself. And for that reason that I've been lying to myself, it has bring me into a new awareness. So right now, what you needed is, you don't need a new life. All that you need is, you need a new awareness. The life you ever dream of, you already have that life. But the problem is, do you have a new awareness? Because once you have a new awareness, that is where you start to understand that, wow, hey, all these things that I've been going through, all these mistakes that I've been doing, it means that I've been cheating myself. I've been lying to myself for so many years. And for that reason, I've been stuck in where I am. You know, so that's the thing. Comfort, you know, comfort is a dream killer. That's where many people want to be comfortable. Many people don't understand that comfort is a dream killer, because there's nothing that grows in the comfort zone. You know, if you stay comfortable, people don't understand that it's very expensive to just stay comfortable. Why is it so expensive? Look at all the years that you're going to spend. All the years that you're going to spend, all the potential, all the time, and all the good things that you're supposed to be doing to move yourself forward. But you get stuck there because you just want to be comfortable. But the thing is, nothing is growing there. Nothing is growing out of the comfort zone. You've been lying to yourself. I have been lying to myself for the past 10 years. I want to do it. And I have started 1 to 2, 3 years ago. I have seen so much big differences in where I want to go as an entrepreneur, as a business person, because I believe that everybody deserves to be free. You know, you deserve to be free, but that freedom will never come if you don't take action. That freedom will never come if you don't do anything about it. You know, so guys, that's why comfort costs a lot. You know, when you stay in the comfort zone, you don't even imagine how many things that you are actually killing. Your dreams, your potential, the time is going, you're getting older, you know, so it costs a lot just to be comfortable, you know. And the next thing that I want to say is discipline over motivation. Discipline over motivation, because the thing is, you can have the best motivators in the world, like Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, coming to motivate you, to tell you what to do. But at the end of the day, you know, there's nothing that is going to happen if you don't really have the discipline, because discipline is something that builds consistency. It's not about motivation, because motivation will ever fade. Motivation will ever slow, you know, but discipline is something that, you know, is going to lead you for long term. Discipline is something that you build, you know. within yourself, and it's going to stay there for many years. It's going to stay there for long time. And also, guys, that's one thing that you have to realize. Discipline over motivation. You have to understand that regardless of whatever happened, regardless of anything that happened in your life, you want to stay disciplined, because at the end of the day, discipline is going to outweigh the motivation. You can be motivated today, but then after, what is going to be left is the discipline. The motivation will ever fail. It will ever fail, because motivations is just like a sprint, but discipline is a marathon, because discipline is growing slowly every single day by the habits that you are creating, because we all have old habits. But for you to build the right discipline to get to where you are, you have to build that discipline within yourself, and that is the marathon, because life is about marathon. It's not about the sprint. It's not about the shortcut. You have to think long term. You have to think where you're going in the future, because the thing is, people always think that right now, if you start going to the gym, you want to be strong, you start going to the gym, but you don't build that muscles, in the 1 to 2, 3 months. You don't build that muscles. It compounds itself. I've been running for, I think, more than 10 years right now, and I can really feel how my body is really reacting, the energy that I'm getting, because trust me, as you're getting older, all the dreams that you have in your head is going to be vanishing, because we as an adult, we are very skeptic. We are very skeptic, and because we are very skeptic, all our dreams is all going down. All the things that we want to achieve, we don't believe anymore that is going to happen. And guys, there's something again, the third one I want to talk about is what we call discipline over motivation. That one is already gone. The next thing I want to talk is, don't wait for validation. People are always waiting for validation. Validation is you are waiting for people to clap for you. You want to do something because you don't have people backing you up. You don't have people liking what you do, so you hesitate. You stop wanting to do the things that you want to do. So you don't have to be waiting for people to clap for you before you do things, or you don't have to see people liking what you do, seeing people. You have to have that passion within yourself. You have to have that passion within yourself. But just waiting for people to please you, to clap for you before you do something, is actually killing your dream. It's actually killing your dream slowly. Before you realize, you cannot do anything. So we have to stop waiting for validation from people if we really want to do something, because the truth about life is, no matter whatever that you do, people are going to talk about it. If you do good things, people are going to talk about it. If something goes wrong, people are going to talk about it. So it means that you have to keep on moving anyway. You have to keep on moving anyway, and you shouldn't allow anyone or anything to stop you. You shouldn't allow anything or anyone to stop you. So those are the very important. We have to stop waiting for validation. Or validation always do what kills dreams, because you are waiting for somebody to like you. You are waiting for people's validation. You are waiting for people to clap for you before you start moving. And the next thing is, your environment can sometimes shape your life, your destiny. Why did I say so? The people you surround yourself with, the what you watch on social media, the things that you are reading, you are feeding yourself with different type of thoughts. And if you are not careful, the thoughts that you're feeding yourself is going to be you. So that's why we have to understand also, environment is one of the greatest things that can shape. It has shaped so many people's life and give them different type of dreams, give them different type of vision. So that's why we have to understand that our environment, our social, the friends that we surround ourselves, if we do surround ourselves with the negative critics, negative people who don't see our potential, we are actually going to not make it, because what happened? Because we are surrounded with the negative people, we are surrounded with the people who don't see our potential, and that is going to lead us to start thinking like them. So our environment is very important. So we have to make sure that what we are watching on social media, the people that we follow, the things that we see every single day is actually impacting our mind, is actually, getting into our subconscious mind. And before you realize, you are doing the things that you don't even know that you are doing, because everything is all about mindset. What it go into your brain, if it go into your brain, you can never retreat it back. It takes a lot of effort to be able to repair it. So that's why we have to understand which kind of environment are we. Are we in a toxic environment, or are we in a positive environment? If we are in a toxic environment, or we are in a negative environment, just imagine how it can actually destroy our life. So it's very important that we understand which kind of environment we are. Is this environment helping us to grow, or is it decreasing our energy or decreasing our potential? And that is how we can be able to do, or we can be able to identify the things that we have to stop doing, the things that we don't really need in our life. And one thing is, if you want to start doing something in life, there's one thing that we all have to stop doing: overthinking, because you want clarity. That overthinking will never make it happen for you. The only thing that will make it happen for you is by doing. If you want to get more confident, it's by doing what you said to yourself you want to do. It's by stop lying to yourself. You want to get confidence, you want to feel the energy within yourself, the action, the energy within yourself. You have to take action before the energy comes. How you going to get the energy, how you going to get the confidence is none of your business. All that you have to know is, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I don't care. I just want to take action. And for you taking action, that is where you start developing something about yourself that you don't even know. So waiting or overthinking that I'm going to start today, I'm going to start tomorrow, and I'm going to challenge you. If you're watching me right now, have you ever thought about something that you want to do, and for some reason you stop? For some reason you stop because you are afraid, because you don't know what's going to happen, because you think people are going to judge you, and you stop. I want to challenge you that you should write that thing down. And today, write that one thing or two things that you wanted to do for some time ago. I don't know, 1 year or 2 years or 1 month or 10 years. And for that reason, you didn't start doing the thing because you are thinking of what people are going to talk about you. Write it down and start from today. That is, I'm trying to distract the stories. I'm trying to distract the stories that you tell to yourself. I have that story. You have that story. But the difference with the people who do is they are not there yet, but the problem is they are already distracting that story because we've been distracted. All the things that we ever wanted, somebody told us that it's not possible. The society that we live in tell us that it's impossible. It's impossible to get to where you want to be. It's impossible to make your dreams come true. It's impossible to become a millionaire. It's impossible to be rich. And in some places, the way they even preach about being rich is they preach it about and what we call it. Being rich is the root of all evil. But I don't believe in that. That's what people think. It's a negative mindset. Being rich is just neutral. It will only make a better person better, and the bad person worse. That's what it does. It's just going to reflect who you are. So So those are the very important things that we have to understand. We have to understand that anything that we want, our environment, all this, our environment, those things are actually shaping our life. So I am challenging every single person that write down is blowing the air here right now in Norway. I mean, today is a very nice weather. Write down the things that you say you want to do. Write down the things that you ever wanted, and for some reason you stopped, for some reason you hesitated. Just write it down. Trust it. Trust the process. Write it down. Write it down. Some time ago I thought of doing this, but for some reason I didn't do it. Just write it down. And once you write it down, try to do that thing, regardless of whatever happened, regardless of you don't feel like doing it. Try to write it down. Try to write it down. So, guys, we are coming to the end of overthinking. Overthinking will not change anything. Just because you're overthinking it, it will not change anything. But what changes the thing that you ever want is doing the things that you promise yourself before that you ever wanted to do. So those are the things. So overthinking doesn't help. What helps is doing. So what did I mean? Taking action is what helps. It's what helps. So guys, write the things that you wanted to do for some years ago, some months ago, some days ago, and you skip it. Write it down and start doing what? And start building and start doing it, even though you don't feel like doing it, and start doing it. So the next thing I want to talk about is respect your words. Respect your words. Respecting your words means that if you don't trust yourself, if you don't trust in your abilities, if you don't trust in the things that you want to do, that is where things will never change. Things will never happen for you. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust the words that you bring it out of your mind, or your thinking, the things that you already have in your mind. You have to trust them. So those are the things that matters. You have to trust your thinking. You have to trust your words. You have to trust, you have to trust the things that is in your mind, because trust me, it's going to be challenging. It's going to be hard. You're going to go out from your comfort zone. You're gonna go through, some metamorphosis, some changes within yourself, because trust me, changing alone is not easy. I understand. Changing alone is not easy. But trust me, if you are able to do the things that you don't feel like doing, you are able to be uncomfortable. That is where you become a different version of yourself. And that's one thing that my mentor say. When you start your journey of entrepreneurship, or you start a journey that many people see that is impossible, you have to understand of being uncomfortable before being comfortable. When I started my trading journey, let's say in 2022, I was having my own business in a barbershop. But what happened? I see myself don't have that freedom. Even though I'm making that money, I'm not happy. But what I'm standing here doing right now is what I'm happy doing. I've seen myself sometimes when a customer come into the shop, I just feel like, oh my God, I just wish I'm freedom, because I've been doing this for maybe more than 5 years. I've been cutting hair since I come to Norway, even before I get into a business of network marketing. And from that moment, that is a different story, where I realized that, wow, freedom is much more better than being in prison. Freedom is much more better than being in prison, not having that freedom to do whatever that you want. Even though when I have my own business, I didn't have that freedom, because my business is controlling my life. I don't have that freedom of doing the things I want to do. And what I'm doing today right now is my imagination, is the things that I've ever thought of doing. And I didn't do it because I am just thinking of what people tell me. Hey, you have a better business. You have a barber shop. Many people want to have a barber shop like this. You have a customer. Just leave it, And when I stumbled across forex trading, I saw we get into a business which is a crypto business in that moment. And I knew nothing about forex trading. And even though I heard some people doing it, it's something that I've already made in my mind. My mind is already thinking that these are the things that I can never do, like forex trading, in the financial market. I never thought of myself doing it. But once I stumbled across it, we went into the business, we lost a lot of money, and then that led me to do what? It led me to start exploring into the financial market. And that is where I start seeing that, wow, if I can master this skill, it can give me freedom. I can go wherever that I want. I can enjoy my freedom. I can be wherever that I want to be, So this gave me, hope. When it gave me hope, should I just sit down and just rely on the hope? No, I didn't just sit down and rely on the hope. I start doing. As I'm talking to you, now we are in 2026. 2022 have gone. So imagine if I haven't started, I will never be where I am right now. Trust me, be able to pass some challenges like FTMO, be able to pass some challenges like Audacity Capital and Alpha Capital. I will never be where I am right now. So I will ever say I'm ever grateful for the decisions that I make. So I'm saying here, as a normal and ordinary person, that you're seeing my journey today. It doesn't mean I'm not there yet, but I'm just telling you that it can happen to you, because somebody spoke and something shifted in my mind. I will also talk and convey the messages to let you know that, you can also get inspiration, get inspired by the things that you want and the things that you ever wanted to do, that it's possible for you to do it. Today, I'm grateful, that I'm here right now. I'm having my job and also trading. But anytime, if my job dismisses me, I'm so happy. Why? Because I know that I got the new skills to back myself. And that's what you should be thinking. You have to have a plan A, plan B, plan C. Because anything in this life can happen. Don't just sit there, fold your hands and think that everything will just work. No, you just have to put yourself together and believe in yourself, that anything that you ever wanted, because most of us are stuck. We are stuck in where we are. We are just complaining every single day. We are complaining without taking any action, just like a dog sitting on the nail, backing every single day, that the nail is actually, paining it, and he couldn't get off from the nail. Why? Because he didn't hurt it enough. And this is the life where most people are actually living right now. They are sitting on something which is paining them, but because of being comfortable, they are just sitting there and do nothing about it, So guys, we have to remind ourselves that we have a long journey to go, and as we get this gift of life, amazing life, things may be going through your life nicely, but you always have to, you can be what we call a bridge also for other people to cross in. Just because you are there doesn't mean that it's only for you. It's also for other people. Maybe through you, they will get inspiration, they will get aspiration, they will get hope and get to where they want to be in life. So guys, that's what I'm telling you. So one of the last thing that I want to say is, you have to understand that the time is moving anyway. Either you decided you're going to take action or you don't want to take action. It's up to you. It's totally up to you if you don't want to take action. Time will ever move with you or without you. The time is going to move. Either you take action or you decided not to take action. Time is going to move with you or without you. The time is running. It doesn't have time. Look at where we are 10 years ago. You may be younger compared to where you are right now 10 years ago. So imagine in another addition of 10 years, where are you going to be? Where am I going to be? That's the question we have to answer ourselves. So if we just think that we have this life and we have to play with it, where the time is going to expose where we all want to be. But doing it from today, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are. It doesn't matter you don't have the resources. It doesn't matter you don't have the things that you ever wanted. Start with what you have, where you are, and never give up. Start with where you are right now, from the things that you wanted to do, and for some reason you start now where you are right now, and never be satisfied. Never be satisfied doesn't mean that you shouldn't be grateful. You should be grateful, but you have to keep on working on yourself, being grateful, So that is actually, for me, the meaning of this life, the purpose of this life. Sometimes you may have everything. You have a nice house, you have a nice car, everything is aligning in your life, but you feel the emptiness because there's a purpose in this life that maybe you are not fulfilling. And for me right now, as I can come here and talk, and talk to people right now, maybe one or two people, how much happy it's bringing to my life. And for me, that is my fulfillment. I don't have the biggest mansion right now. I don't have the nice car. I don't have all financially okay right now. But trust me, I have something that is treasure. That is more than those things. That is more than those houses. That is more than those cars. And that is why I am fulfilled. I'm happy right now. So time is going to move with you or without you. So that's the thing that I want you to remember. And the last thing I want to do is I want to challenge you to write down 1 or 2, 3 things that you wanted to ever do. That's my last thing for you today, this Sunday. I'm not always like this is the things that I always wanted to be doing, but for some reason, for work reason, for family reason, I don't really sometimes have time. But I'm coming randomly, but it will get to a point that I'll be updating the time that I'll come here. We have some talk. You're going through some challenges, difficulties. You can talk. We can talk. We can write on the comment. We can talk about that, because I believe that everyone is going through something in their life that we don't even know. So many people have lost their life for some reason because they have no one to talk to. And I'm telling that you have me, you have our Limas here. We're going to talk. We're going to inspire ourselves. We're going to give ourselves hope by doing what we say we want to do, by taking that action. So guys, I'm really grateful for anyone who is actually on this live today. I'm really happy. I'm really grateful for anyone tuning in, and don't forget to like my channel and subscribe to this channel. It will help the algorithm to keep pushing the things that I am actually putting on here. And thank you for all my subscribers, all the followers. That my job here is to inspire, is to give hope, is to give you a new belief system that is possible, because you can see me that I don't have all the cars or all the mansions, all the millions. No, but I have something greater than that. And that is what? The word, the power of the words. And the words can change. In the beginning of the world was the word. That word, God spoke the word, and everything turned into existence. And that is what you need. So I'm telling you that the best among you will be your best servant. You have to be your best servant. Most of us are working for our companies, are working for other people, but we are not busy working on ourselves. We are not busy working on our soul. So guys, that's what you need. A word to a wise is enough. And that's why one of my mentors, Les Brown, said, I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humble and dull, by having a state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, because life is all about risking. I want to take the calculated risk. These words are the words that inspire me so much, and that's why I like to quote that one. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the still calm of utopia. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It's my right to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to face the world boldly, because it is a war, it is a fight. To face the world boldly and to say, this I have done. This is what it means to be a part of peak potential, your uncommon desire and unquestioned desire to manifest your greatness. So guys, God bless you. I leave you with this. If you like this, comment on the session. What do you like from this? What's your takeaway? And write the things down, please. Write the things that you ever wanted to do. That's my challenge for you this week. And for those reasons you didn't do it, and start doing it today, right now. No time to waste. So God bless you and stay blessed.